Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm Braden, and this is the second video in a series of videos where I show you how to install the Draco Diff Case 2023 in HPI Vehicles. If you haven't already, please check out video 1 where I show you how to install this diff case in the HPI Savage. And before that, I also show you how to assemble the diff case as a center diff and as a front or rear diff. So in today's video, we're going to look at the Super 5SC Flux and how to install in that vehicle. So in front of you, you can see some of the tools you may need. You'll need a brush to clean the parts before reassembly. A variety of different wrenches. I have a 1.5, 2, 2.5 and 3mm wrench for the Super 5SC Flux. I've also got some grease to grease the gears. I have some blue Loctite for the screws of the diff case once you have finished shimming. And I have the shims as well. So inner diameter of 8mm with an outer diameter of 10 or 12mm and a thickness of 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3mm. Okay, so let's get into the installation. Okay, so before we get into the installation, let's take a look at the HPI Super 5SC Flux. So this was a platform that was released around 2012, 2013, I believe, and it shares a lot of parts with the HPI Savage. I believe it's around 70 or 80%. So the front and rear bulkheads are from the Savage. The center transmission is from the Savage. And I think the battery boxes are from the Savage Flux. The TVPs, the radio box, bracing, front and rear bumpers are unique to this vehicle, or a variation of true fifth scale platforms from HPI, like the front bumper and the rear bumper with the skid, mud flaps. The suspension arms and spindles are all the same also. Okay, now let's take a look at my Super 5SC Flux. So it is a little custom. I've made a few different parts for this, so let me show you. First, the TVPs. They are carbon fiber, 4mm thick. I've also made a carbon fiber servo plate with a 3D printed radio box, just to simplify the setup. I've also made the Draco center diff set. This fits the Savage also. I have my current product, the Draco CVDs front and rear with the 24mm hexes. I have the Draco Diff Case 2023 front, center and rear. Right, that's all the custom parts I have. Okay, so that is a little information about my Super 5SC Flux. Now let's get into installation of the Draco Diff Case. Okay, let's begin the installation. So in order to access this bulkhead more easily, we need to remove this this bumper first. And to do that, you will need to remove these screws up here, this one on this side, and of course the other side. Remove the clips here, these clips here, like this, and the 4 screws below. And then I will slide this plastic guard off the plate. I can do that because my custom TVPs have a bit of a gap here to allow that. Any Draco TVPs from now on will have this feature for easy maintenance. But yeah, you will see that. But if you don't have this, then you can just remove the whole front bulkhead if you need to. Right, so let me remove this bumper and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so now I have the clips and screws removed. The front bumper will come off the vehicle in one piece. So first, grab the bumper, pull down until they come out, see? And then push down and then push forward and it will come off. This is the front bumper in a complete section. Yeah, so that was 6 screws. Now the bulkhead is much more accessible, and we will remove these 2 screws and these 2 screws in here, and we can remove the front half of the bulkhead. Also, if you're running sway bars, you need a 1.5mm wrench. Undo those screws and you can remove the whole part. So let's do that. Okay, so I have removed those 4 screws, and now the front half of the bulkhead can be removed. Okay, you just pull. There we go. Okay. All right. Another Draco Diff. Yes. So this is the 2023 that I'm running now. It's still holding up. Okay, so with the drive shafts installed and everything installed, including the steering, the best way to access the diff is to pull these pins out, just like that. So now the drive shafts will fall away. So if you have the dog bones, I'm running CVDs, but if you have dog bones, it'll be much easier to pull the dog bones out. Okay, so make sure they're free from there and then pull it away. Okay, so once again, you'll want to check the play on this pinion gear, make sure it's okay, and mine is okay, so I can leave that. Now you want to start the process of shimming. So first of all, get your Draco Diff Case that you've assembled, make sure there are no shims on it, and let's get ready to start the process. Okay, so I have my Draco Diff Case ready. There are no shims installed. Let's just put this into the bulkhead to get a base setting, or to see how many shims we need. Okay, so you can see it moves, so we clearly need to shim it. Far left we have, so hold the pinion, quite a lot of backlash. Far right, no backlash. All right, so we really want somewhere in between that. Okay, so I'm just going to start randomly and just say 0.3mm on both sides, and we'll see how it is. Right, so once again, for the purposes of this video, I don't have any inner gears installed, just so I can easily remove the out drives for shimming. But for you, you will have this assembled with no oil and no Loctite, and you'll have to remove these 4 screws on either side when you're shimming. So it's a little bit of a pain, but quite a necessary process. All right, so anyway, let me continue. So take that off. I'm going to add a 0.3 on there. So the Draco Diff Case comes with the same size as the gear, so you can run 8x16x5s on both sides instead of only the gear side. And also I offer the option of adding this to your order. So in the cart, please add 2 of these to each diff case with your order, and they're only $1 each. So yeah, anyway, so I've added the shim, put the bearing back on, and then I'll do the same on this side. 0.3 again. Here we go. Okay, now let's check. Just make sure everything's out of the way so the diff can be installed easily. Here we go. Okay. All right. Hold the pinion. Check. Backlash. Okay. So there's no side-to-side movement. So 0.3 keeps it quite stable in the bulkhead. I would say that's pretty good. Just a little backlash. You could even go tighter if you wanted. Maybe a 0.2 and a 0.4. So it moves it this way, 0.1 millimeters. Let's try that and see, okay? So I have a 0.3 on this side, so I'll take it off and put a 0.2. Okay, and then on this side I have a 0.3, so I'll add a 0.1, so 0.4, 0.2. All right, let's try. Okay. Oh, a little tighter. I prefer that actually. Okay, so if you're happy with that, now would be the time to fill it with oil and put it in the bulkhead for the last time. Okay, so let's move on that assumption and let's finish installation. So I would get my drive shafts back in place and put, so let's say this is filled with oil now, right? And of course you've Loctited all 8 screws with blue Loctite. And then I would add just a little bit of grease on the teeth. Yeah, not too much. You don't need too much. It'll just get blown off anyway. Okay, and then put this back through on both sides. Yep. Here we go. Okay, pushed in. This is good. Okay, and then we can put this back on again. So line it up. Actually, these vehicles, the Super 5SC Fluxes, they came with a composite material for the bulkheads, so they were actually much more rigid than the stock Savage ones. So it is a little more difficult to install these halves, as you can see. Gotta find the right location. Okay, so let me mess around with this a bit and I'll get it back on. Okay, so I got everything back on. Now I can just push it for that click. There we go. Okay, and you would put these 4 screws back in again, and then you would reattach your sway bars, and then we can put the front bumper back on. So let's do that. Okay, so now I have reinstalled these 4 screws and the front bulkhead, the front half of the bulkhead is now in place. Okay, still free, see? Okay, so now you would reinstall the front bumper, and once you've done that, make sure you put the screws back in, and then we can check to see these halves are mating correctly, so there's no play between the bearings and the bulkhead. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I have reinstalled the front bumper, I've reinstalled all screws, and now we can check the play between the bearings and the bulkhead. So it's important that you have all these screws installed, the 4 on the front and the 2 from the bottom, just to replicate how the vehicle will be run. And then you grab the outdrives and you move the diff like this. A little bit of play is okay, but excessive amount is not good. It will wear the teeth out prematurely. So once you've confirmed that, you're ready to go. Okay, so that concludes our installation video of the Draco Diff Case in the Super 5SC Flux. So if you're interested, I have some available now. Please go to my website, draco-jp.com/the-Draco-store, and you can order yours today with the option of adding some bearings to your order as well. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't, please check out my previous videos. The links will be in the description, as well as my website links as well. All right, see you in the next video.